Can we talk about the pressure of having everything figured out in your 20s? And I feel like the noise on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram is just too much. And a lot of people are doing things and starting up things that, you know what, let's not go there. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, I hope you stick around and subscribe, join the family, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're an OG, welcome back. So today's video was a little bit different for me. Since I started filming for YouTube, I've really never done this kind of like video before. I'm just gonna be a little bit more vulnerable today. I don't have a script in front of me. I'm just talking based on how I'm feeling and just hoping that there's somebody out there that this video could help out. Can we talk about the pressure of having everything figured out in your 20s? Who made this rule that we have to literally accomplish everything in our 20s, and if we don't accomplish it by 30, then you're somehow a failure? I don't know if you think that way, but that's definitely my thought. Like, that was definitely my thought process, and I feel like even now I'm still trying to unlearn that process. I feel like we just all started accepting this perspective that your 20s is when you go hard, you plan, you do this, you structure, you organize. And that is a lot of pressure. Not only is it a lot of pressure, it is very unrealistic. Oh my god. Like, I remember towards the end of last year, I wrote all these goals down that 2026 is my year. You know, in church, I was praying like 2026, I must make it. I must make it out the hood somehow. I'm just kidding. I don't even need hood. But I'm like, I must make it out. Like, 2026 is my year to be seen, to be this, to be that, blah, blah, blah. So I had all these plans. And coming into the new year, I remember in January, the kind of overwhelm and burnout I was already feeling in January. I'm like, girl, like, you're barely even in the second or third month or fourth. This is the first month, and imagine how you're feeling. So I had to sit down with myself and actually begin to think, like, why do I feel under a lot of pressure? Why do I feel like this? I was just feeling very uneasy. So I sat down and I was praying, and I had my journal out, and I was just not borderline, I was actually crying. I was in tears, and I'm like, God, like, I feel like you gave me this vision. Like, you told me to do this. I feel like you're telling me to do this and you're pulling me in this direction, but it literally seems impossible. How can I work a full-time job, mind you. I work a full-time job. I'm active in my church. I have friends that I have to be present for. I have a family not actually like a family like kids, but I have my family, my siblings, my parents that I have to be present for. I have other commitments in my real life that I have to show up for. And it's just, I have this YouTube channel that I'm trying to grow and build. And I have other gifts, I have other hobbies and things that I want to pursue. And I'm like, God, I feel overwhelmed. This feels impossible. I'm never going to be able to accomplish all these things that I feel like you're putting on my heart to do. And I just don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to feel like a failure, but I felt a peace about it. You know, I just told God, I'm like, God, hey, I'm giving this to you. So after praying, you know, I didn't really get an answer there or whatever. I just felt peace. Whenever I feel stressed or anything, I take it to God first, but I felt peace, and I went on about my day. Not still feeling so settled, but I was like, okay, I'm like, God, we'll figure it out together, like we always do. And somewhere, I don't know exactly when this clicked for me, but sometime in January, I remember just thinking to myself, and I'm like, what if the vision that you feel like God is putting on your heart is not only to be done and accomplished in 1 year, or even in 2 years, or even in 3 years? What if I told you that this vision is meant to be stewarded for a lifetime? Sometimes we try to box God and limit him because we're humans and we operate with time. So it just makes sense for certain things to be done at a certain time. It makes sense for me to be at a certain place in my career before 30. It makes sense for me to have achieved this goal at 25, and then at 27 I'm gonna do this, and before 30 my life should be at this stage. And I began to realize that I've boxed God into time, and into my own timeline for myself, and I've tried to shrink the purpose and the vision of God for my life into those timelines. But that for me was my breakthrough, when I began to realize that everything that I want to achieve, even something as little as your hobbies, I want to crochet. I like, well, I don't like crocheting, but this year I wanted to learn how to crochet, I wanted to learn how to swim, I wanted to learn how to ride a bike, I wanted to learn how to, and I'm like, how would I do all this in 2026? But I started to have peace of mind when I started to understand that, girl, you have time. Like, you have the rest of your life. By God giving us long life, you have the rest of your life to kind of build build these things and these systems. So that's kind of the resolution I came to. And in January, I was just all over the place. But once I started to understand that, started moving about my year in a more different place. I started working from a place of rest and peace, that whatever I'm not able to achieve in this year or in the next 5, 6, 10 years from now, at the right time, the Lord will bring everything that He's put in your heart to pass. Especially in this time and age where we have access to the achievements and the accomplishments of other people online. I literally see my age mates touring or doing these big things or having these businesses, having this mentorship program, and it's like, girl, me and you are the same age. And then that's when that comparison starts to kick in. Like, I feel like I'm running out of time. Like, if X, Y, and Z is doing this at this age, and I'm look at where I am at this age, then that means that by chill, calm down. It's like, calm down. Everybody's journey is different, and we should just learn how to walk with God on our own separate and distinct journeys. So, to be honest, guys, even because of all that pressure, I literally felt that I needed to get off of social media. Like, I got off of social media in February, and I don't think I'm going back anytime soon. The pressure is just unrealistic. I just want to have clarity, on exactly like what I'm building and what the Lord wants me to do. And I feel like the noise on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, is just too much. And a lot of people are doing things and starting up things that, you know what, let's not go there. But yeah, I'm here to tell you that that vision that God gave you is not only for your 20s. The vision that God gave you is meant to be stewarded for a lifetime and passed on to generations. Do not rush. Don't feel like you need to rush to do anything. Be patient. Great things take time. You don't need to rush the process. Allow God to prune you, and at the right time, when it's time for manifestation of everything that you're building and all your dreams and vision, you would not need to beg for opportunities. You would not need to work and strive for it. It would literally show up at your door. So this is a time for you in your 20s, for me as well, to be intentional, put in work, and be patient. So that's the word I had for you guys today. Not the word, but that's just, I guess, my little spiel or story about how I was feeling that sort of this year. I feel like I have more clarity now, more vision, but I feel like a huge part of that is because I got off of social media. I literally got off social media, and I started just honing in on my journey and my path with God. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.